Okay, so number one is m equals 7 minus 3n. What's up?
Well, for the thing, it equals, this is like n plus 3n equals 7.
Right.
Little dot, comma thing.
Yep, we're going to deal with the comma dot thing now, okay? So this is the first step. It said solve each equation for m. That's the first part. Now the second part says then find the value of m for each value of n. So now they're saying when n equals -2, figure it out. When n equals 0, figure it out when n equals 1. So now let's do that. So m equals 7 minus 3. Instead of n, I'm now going to put in a -2. So 3 times -2. We're going to solve that. What's a -3 times a -2? +6, right? Yep, so I have m equals 7 plus 6. Got to write these down, which is 13. So that's my first answer of my actual numbers. What's up?
Can I go finish both these papers?
No, you can stay here. So m equals. Okay, so we put in -2, now we got to put in 0. I love putting in 0 because it goes away. -3 times 0 is just 0, so m is 7. So you need to write all this down. M equals 7 minus 3 parenthesis. What's the last number they want me to put in? 1. So I have 7 minus 3, which is 4. So technically, each problem has 4 answers. You have the actual what m is, then you put in the first number, second number, and then their third number.
It's a lot of work.
You can just leave it on your paper. You have to write all this, yes. That is the whole goal. Number 2.
Are we gonna turn this all into you?
You bet you will. With all of the stuff that I did with you, and then the ones that I don't do with you, it's the ones you have to do on your own. Number 2. So it says 3m minus 9n equals 24. Okay, the goal is to get m by itself. So again, cover up your m. How do I get rid of minus 9n? Plus it, add it, yep. Add 9n. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Slash and burn, those are gone. So I have 3m equals, can I put those two together? Not technically, right? So all I do is just rewrite it, 24 plus 9n. Okay, is m all the way by itself? Not quite. What's 3 doing to m here? Multiplying. What's the opposite of multiplying? Dividing. So I can divide every single thing by 3. Okay, so I have m equals, what's 24 divided by 3? 8, right? 8, yeah, okay. 8 plus, what's 9 divided by 3? 3. So m equals 8 plus 3n. So that's my first part of my problem. Now I'm going to plug in my numbers. So they say to plug in -1 first. So wherever I see an n, I'm going to put in a -1. So I have m equals 8 plus 3 times -1. So that's 8 minus 3, right? What's 8 minus 3? 5. Okay. Yeah, what's up?
I found this in my house.
Hey, good. Put it on my shelf. Thanks. M equals, next number they want me to put in is a 1. 8 plus 3 times 1. Well, 3 times 1 is just 3. So what's 8 plus 3? Don't all say it at once. 11. You're going to want a calculator out too, because they don't all work out nice like number 2. I know. Okay, last one. M equals 8 plus 3 times, what's the last number they need us to put in? 3. What's 3 times 3? 9. What's 8 plus 9? 17. Okay, moving on. Number 3. Number 3 says negative 5n equals 4m plus 8. Again, we want to get m by itself. Cover up m. How do I get rid of that plus 8? Subtract it. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So I have negative 5n minus 8 equals 4m. M is still not by itself. What's 4 doing to m right now? Multiplying. What's the opposite of multiplying? Divide. So I have to divide every single thing by 4. Okay, and I'm going to let you round to the nearest tenth today. So you can go ahead and go negative 5 divided by 4. That gets you negative 1.25. So we'll do negative 1.3. And minus, what's 8 divided by 4? 2 equals m. M is all by itself, so box that in. You got that done. Now we got to plug in the values that it says. Okay. So we have m equals negative 1.3 times, what's my first value? Negative 1 minus 2. Negative 1.3 times a negative 1 is a positive 1.3, right? Minus 2. What's positive 1.3 minus 2? Negative what? 0.7, yep. Good job. Okay, let's plug in the next one. M equals negative 1.3 times 0, yay, I love putting in 0, minus 2. Negative 1.3 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 2 is negative 2, right? 0 minus 2 is just negative 2, right? M equals, let's do the last one. They want us to put in a positive 1. I have negative 1.3 times 1 minus 2. Well, that's going to give me a negative 1.3. Nothing changes when you times it by 1. Minus another 2. Hey, they're both negative, so technically I'm going to add, what's 2 plus 1.3? Yeah. 3.3. And it's both, they're both negative, so it's negative. Okay, so a lot of work for a problem. It's kind of like 4 problems in one.
You want us to write the answer on the paper?
Nope, if you got it on your paper nicely like I do, just leave it on your paper. Well, then maybe you should write your answers separately, but I do need to see your work too, so you're gonna staple it all together. Are you boxing in your answers? You should. Okay, number 4. We have 2m equals negative 6n minus 5. Okay, I want to get m by itself. Well, m's almost by itself, right? What do I have to do? Divide by 2. Yep, get rid of that 2. So I have to divide every single darn thing by 2. So m equals, what's negative 6 divided by 2? Negative 3. So negative 3n minus, what's half of 2? Half of 5. 2.5, thank you. 2.5. M is by itself, box it in. Now we're going to plug in the numbers. M equals negative 3 times, first one we're going to put in is a 1, minus 2.5. Negative 3 times 1 is still negative 3, minus another 2.5, so they're both negative. So you need to add them together. What's negative 3 and 2.5? -5.5, negative 5.5. That's my first answer. Next one, m equals negative 3 times, 2 is next, minus 2.5. Negative 3 times 2, negative 6, minus 2.5. Both negative, you need to add. What's 6 plus 2.5? Yep, or third, however you look at it. M equals, last one that we're gonna put in is a 3. Negative 3 times 3 minus 2.5. Negative 3 times 3 is negative 9 minus another 2.5. And you can definitely use your calculator if you don't want to do these in your head. Add 9 and 2.5, 9, 10, 11, so 11.5. And make sure you put a negative sign in there.
Yeah, 4 questions on the same page.
Yep. About 4 questions a page. Okay, moving on, number 5. So we got 8n equals negative 3m plus 1. Okay, again, we want to get m by itself. Cover it up. How do I get rid of that plus 1? Minus the 1 from both sides. So I have 8n minus 1 equals negative 3m. M is almost by itself. What do I need to do with that negative 3? Divide. Divide negative 3. Every single thing. Okay, this is when we're going to need our calculators, unless you can do that in your head. What's 8 divided by negative 3? 2.6 repeating, right? So we're going to round that to 2.7. So negative 2.7n. And then a negative over negative makes a positive. 1/3 is 0.3 repeating, right? So that's going to give me 0.3. We're just rounding to the nearest 10 equals m. Because you guys like decimals better than fractions. Okay. Trying to move it up. Okay. So m equals negative 2.7 times, what's my first value that they want? Negative 2 plus 0.3. So now we got to get our calculators out. 2.7 times 2, doubling it. So 5.4, negative times the negative makes a positive. Make sure you're writing this down. Plus another 0.3 would give me 5.7. Good. M equals negative 2.7 times positive 2 this time, plus 0.3. So I have a negative 5.4 this time, plus 0.3. So really you're subtracting 5.1. Don't forget it's a negative. Equals, last value to put in is a 4. Negative 2.7 times 4 plus 0.3. This would be a negative 10.8 plus 0.3. So that'd be negative 10.5. Okay, number 6. Number 6. (4n minus 6m equals negative 2). Again, we want to get m by itself. So how am I going to move over that positive 4n? Minus it, yep. Minus 4n, slash and burn those ones, they're done. So I have negative 6m equals negative 2 minus 4n. divide by -6 on every single one. So I have m equals, negative over negative makes a positive. 2 over 6 is 1/3, which would be 0.3. Okay, negative over negative makes a positive. 4 over 6 would be 2/3, which should be 0.6666666 forever, right? So 0.7, yep. So 0.7 m. Square that up. Rectangle it up, I guess. Plug in the numbers. First number they want us to do is -2. So m equals 0.3 plus 0.7 times -2. 0.3 plus, what's 0.7 times 2? -2. -1.4, good. So this is going to get me a -1.1. M equals 0.3 plus 0.7 times, now they want us to put in a 0. Yay, zeros. That's gone. So I'm just left with 0.3. Now they want me to put in a +2. 0.3 plus 0.7 times +2. That'd be 0.3 plus 1.4. Oh, sorry, thank you. What's 0.3 plus 1.4?
Uh,
1.7.
So mine, like scratch paper now,
Mhm.
they're readable. So if I'm putting in
Should
something,
be.
like over and scale the work, that's fine. Like because you have to read the word.
I gotta be able to at least know that you did it, honey. I gotta be able to see it a little bit.
Like this good enough?
Okay, yes. Okay, so we've done 6 of those together. Should be pretty good at same process, same process, same process. So you're going to do 7 and 8 on your own later. Okay, so circle them up so you remember to do them. Okay, because we've done 1 through 6. So don't throw away your paper because you have to turn them all in, okay? I need another piece of paper. We are going to do number 9 now. So 1 through 6 took me a full piece of paper front and back, so. Okay, number 9 says to solve the equations for x. So I want to get x by itself. The good news is this one does not have me put values in after it's done. Okay, so just getting the x by itself.
So this is one answer?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so number 9 says f of x minus g of x equals h. Okay, let me try to move this up a little so I have more room.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Okay, I want to get x's by itself, right? But there's 2 of them. Ah! And I can't put them together, can I?
No.
No, they're not the same thing. So how would I get an x out of both of them? So what I told the other class is think about like undistributing. We're going to take that x out. Okay? So I'm going to divide out an x. So I'm going to put x parenthesis. I'm going to take and divide an x out of both terms.
I'm
So-
already confused.
If I took an x out of fx, what's left? F. If I took an x out of gx, what's left? G. And that equals h still. So I undistributed is the best way to explain it. Jake, make sure you're writing these down, please. Thank you. Okay, so what's x and this parenthesis doing to each other? What operation? Multiplying. Yep. So I want to get x by itself. So what's the opposite of multiplying? Dividing. So I'm going to divide that junk out, the stuff that's in parentheses. So I'm going to divide by f minus g. So I'm going to divide by f minus g on this side and this side. Now if I divide it out, those just go, they turn into a 1. Do I need to write the 1? No. So I just have a plain old x on that side equals h over f minus g. Now x is by itself.
That made no sense.
Same process, it's just all letters.
Exactly.
So it
yeah.
looks worse, but
That-
it's
that
not.
confuses me as well.
I know, it confuses a lot of people, so we're doing a lot of them together. Okay, circle number 10, you're gonna go do that on your own. That's very similar to the one that we just got done with. Okay,
Are we gonna have time in class for it?
this is what you're also doing tomorrow.
Yeah.
So the ones that you circle are the ones you're working on tomorrow. Pretty much class is gonna be taken up by me doing most of the questions for you. So that way you get in the habit of doing it, because this is not something you want to do just by yourself at home without any direction. Okay? So number 11, let's try that. Number 11 says m equals x plus n over p. Now, if you look, x plus n is all over p. So that means that they're both dividing by p. So I can't just cover up x because I've got dividing by p, but the entire thing is dividing by p. So what's the opposite of dividing by p? Multiply by p. So let's do that first. So times it by p, times it by p. What's p times m? Don't overthink it.
P plus M.
PM. Okay? Equals, these p's cancel each other out, so I just have x plus n. Now x is still not by itself. What do I need to do? Subtract n. If this was numbers, you guys wouldn't even think a thing of it. Because it's letters, it's making it more confusing. So you have PM minus n equals x. Is x by itself? Yeah, you're good. You're done. Okay, circle 12, that's similar to 9 and 10. You're going to do that one on your own. Let's look at 13. 13. Number 13. Negative 3 parenthesis x plus n equals x. There's more than one x again. That means I need to get them all over to one side. But in order to do that, what do you think I should do first? Distribute. Let's distribute it. Okay. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times n, negative 3n, right? Equals x. Okay, I want to bring all my x's to one side. How can I bring that negative 3x over to that side? Add it. Plus 3x, plus 3x. Those are gone. Negative 3n equals, what's x plus 3x? 4x. Yep, because you have 1 here and 3 here. X is still not by itself. How do I get rid of that 4?
Erase it.
Almost. How would I almost erase it? In a way.
Erase
Divide by 4. And then just leave it as an ugly fraction. So negative 3n over 4 equals x. Okay, 14. We have x minus 4 over y plus 2, it's all over that, equals 5. Okay, I want to get x by itself. So x is on the numerator, so I need to get rid of whatever it's dividing by, right? So what's the opposite of dividing? Try again.
No.
Multiplication, yep. So opposite of dividing is multiplication. So I'm dividing by y plus 2, so now I'm going to multiply by y plus 2 on both sides. So y plus 2. And then when I do it over here, because it's 2 things, you have to put it in parentheses. Because I want to make sure that I'm multiplying the entire thing by the y plus 2. So these are gone. I have x minus 4 equals 5 parentheses y plus 2.
Where'd you get the y plus 3 from?
That's what we were dividing by. So to undo it, to get rid of it, I had to multiply by it. Okay? What do you think I should do over here? Distribute. Let's do that. Bloop, bloop. So I have x minus 4 equals 5y plus 10.
Just strike them with that.
Fine. Okay. How would I get this x by itself? What do I need to do with this -4 or -4? Add 4 to that side. Add it to the like term, so add it to the 10. So I have x equals 5y plus 14.
I'm like,
Don't complain. Okay, the next ones. I am gonna have you do these 4 on your own, so circle these, but I need to give you some information so that you remember what you need for these ones. So 15 says, what's the width of a rectangle and the length is this and area is this. How do I find area of a rectangle?
length times height.
Length times width, yep. So length times width. You might wanna write little notes on the side so that way you remember. Area of a rectangle is length times width. Okay. 16, what is the radius of a circle with a circumference of 13 feet? So you got to remember your circumference formula. So C equals, circumference is pi times diameter, or a radius is what with a diameter? It's half of a diameter, so you need 2 radius. So 2 pi r. Now they do say to use 3.14 for pi, so this could be 2 times 3.14 times r.
Okay, when did we learn about circumference?
Last year, year before that, probably.
No. I can't remember this.
You need to pay more attention in math class then, honey. All right,
Hard.
okay, 17 says the rectangle has a perimeter and length of that, what is the width? How do you find perimeter?
Oh, length times width times height.
Nope. Add all the sides. Yep, add all the sides.
Oh, length plus width plus.
Add all the sides.
So what is length times width times height? I know that's something.
Volume. Length times width times height is volume. That's not what we're doing. Add all the sides for perimeter. So you need 2 lengths, 2 widths for a rectangle. And then the last one says a triangle has a base of 7 and an area of that. So how do I find area of a triangle?
Wait, isn't it like B2 plus?
Yep, 1/2 base times height. Okay. So just to like, I don't know, because I'm generous and feel like helping you out on this one a little bit. So like, let's look at 18. So it says a triangle has a base of 7. So that's going to go in for the B. So I have 1/2 times 7 times, do I know the H? No. Equals, the area is 17.5. So you're going to plug that in here. Now you're going to keep solving for H. You want to get H by itself. Well, what's 1/2 of 7?
Isn't that 3.5?
3.5, yeah. So I have 17.5 equals 3.5 H. How do I get H by itself? How do I get this 3.5 away from it?
Dividing.
Divide by 3.5. So take 17.5 and divide by 3.5 in your calculators.
Is there a calculator on your Apple Watch?
Yeah, actually there is.
Really?
Anyone? 5. And do you think I just want H equals 5? No, what do you think I need?
Meter square.
Regular meters, not meter squared, so 5 meters. So you got a freebie out of me again, even though you shouldn't have.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're gonna turn to the backside. There is, well, you have to have something to do tomorrow.
You could just sleep. I revive our mental health.
Okay, 19, 20, and 21 you will do at home by yourself, okay? Just because they're word problems doesn't make them harder. They give you the formula. This one's miles per gallon, so a lot of you will be able to figure that one out just because you have that smart in you, okay? I have smart in you, believe it or not. Okay,
What's smart?
all right. Let's do 22 through 27, and if we keep going at the rate we're going, I'll do all 6 of them for you, so then you would only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 to do on your own tomorrow. Okay, so let's keep going. 22, but remember you have to write it all down. So I have 4k plus mn equals n minus 3. Okay, now there's a semicolon here and then there's an n. What that's saying, I'm going to just cross it out. What it's saying is now solve for that letter, solve for n. You want to get n by itself. So again, we want to get n by itself. Okay, well, I see n's here and here. I need them on the same side. So how do I move this mn over? How do I get rid of plus mn? Minus mn, yep. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Okay, can't really put them together, so I'm just going to rewrite it. So I have 4k equals n minus mn minus 3. Okay, n's are kind of getting better now because they're on this side. How do I get rid of that minus 3? It's opposite of minus and 3. Plus 3. So I have 4k plus 3 equals n minus mn. Now again, just like on number 9, I need to get the n's taken out of it. So remember I said it's like undistributing. Okay? So we're going to put an n here. We're going to divide out an n. What's n divided by n? It's kind of not there, right? Well, what's 3 divided by 3? 1, right? So what's n divided by n? 1. Okay, so we have 1. Because if you redistributed, you want to get back to where you were. Now, if I took an n out of n, then what's left? What letter's left? Just the m, right? Rough crowd around here. So I have 4k plus 3 equals n parenthesis 1 minus m. Ooh, that's really serious. Okay? What's this junk in parentheses doing to this n? Multiplying, right? How do you undo that? Dividing. So I got to divide by that 1 minus n. M.
What's the goal here?
To get n by itself.
M?
N. No. Yeah, I know. They sound the same in a mask. So I have 1 minus m on the bottom and n's by itself, and that was the goal. That's why we're doing a lot of them together. It is a lot of work. It's hard because it's not numbers, it's just letters for the most part. 23.
How does, okay, this is actually a decent question. Why do they do letters and math? And
Because sometimes when you are doing something, you're not going to know that number. That's why they put a letter there. So you have to solve for that letter. Yeah, it'll get worse in algebra too. But this will prepare you. That's my goal. Yay. Okay, so semicolon C, so I'm just going to kind of erase that. That means that I want to get C by itself. The goal is to get C. So cover up C. Okay, how do I get rid of the plus 2? Minus it. So I'm on minus 2 from both sides. Chook, chook. So C over D equals F over G minus 2. Okay, still want to get C by itself. What's C and D doing? Dividing. What's the opposite of dividing? Multiplying. So I need to multiply by D. So times by D on this side. But that means I got to times this entire thing by D. Now I'm going to be a rebel because C is by itself. I am not going to distribute it. I'm just going to leave it. Rebel, Mrs. Adrian. Because C is by itself. I don't have to distribute if I don't want to. You can't make me.
Wait, so we don't distribute on any of the other ones, right?
No, because C is by itself. That was my goal. Sorry. What's up, Elizabeth?
So that means since you don't have to, that means we don't have to.
Right, because I boxed it in. It's done on that one. Hey, let's keep going. 24. 3AB minus 2BC equals 12. Remember that semicolon C, that's just telling me what letter I'm solving for. I want to get C by itself. Good news is there's only one C in here. So cover that junk up for now. How do I get rid of that 3AB? Right now it's a positive 3ab, so I need to subtract it. So minus 3ab, negative 2bc equals 12 minus 3ab. I want to get c by itself. What's negative 2 and b doing to c? Multiplying. What's the opposite of multiplying? Divide. So I'm going to divide both the negative 2 and the b out. So I'm going to divide by negative 2b on both things. So I'm just going to make a big line and put a negative 2b on the bottom. Those are gone, so I'm just going to rewrite it. Don't make it harder for yourself. Just leave it all over negative 2b. Okay, we'll talk about that later. 25. Z equals parenthesis x plus y over 3 times w. And I want to solve it for y. So again, I cross that out so you're not confusing yourself. I want to get y by itself. The stuff right there. I want that letter. I can't get to that letter until I get rid of this one, right? So this one's multiplying. What's the opposite of multiplying? Dividing. So let's divide out w. Bloop, bloop. Bloop, bloop. So I have z over w equals x plus y over 3. Still need to get to y. I can't get to y until I get rid of this dividing by 3. What's the opposite of dividing by 3? Multiply by 3. So I multiply by 3 on both sides. So I have 3z over w equals x plus y. Because these cancel each other out. They make a 1, so they're gone. Almost got x by itself. What do I need to do? Or y by itself. Which one am I solving for? Y. Okay. What do I need to do with my x? Subtract it. So I have 3z over w minus x equals y. Is it getting better? Still hard, but it's getting better, right?
0 cents.
It just has letters instead of numbers. The more and more you do, the better it'll get. Okay, 26.
Wait, can we just do 26?
No, that was 25.
Wow.
26. Negative 3 parentheses m minus 2n equals 5m. And we're solving for m. M. What do you think the first thing we're going to do is, though? Distribute. Let's do that. I want to be able to get to my m's. So I have negative 3m plus, because a negative times a negative is a positive, 6n equals 5m. Okay, still want to get m's by themselves. How do I move that negative 3m over? It's a minus right now. So add. Yep. Let's add that 3m. Whatever you do to that side, you do to this side. Can you put those two together? Yeah, you actually can this time. So 6n equals 8m, right? Divide by, do I want m by itself? Yeah, divide by 8. I have to remind myself what I'm looking for. 6 over 8, can you simplify 6 over 8?
No.
Goes into 2,
Oh, no, wait.
so
3
3
over 4.
over 4. So 3n over 4 equals m. Or you could have put 0.75. That would have been fine. 0.75 n equals m. Either one. Okay, last one. Yay! Look at us, just cruising. All right. A equals 1/2 BCD plus BC. And we're solving for D, as in dog. Okay, so I'm going to get this one by itself. So how do I get rid of that plus BC? Subtract it. So I have A minus BC equals 1/2 BCD. Whew. Let's get rid of the one. Well, yeah. I could divide by a half right? But then that's gonna be like a fraction over a fraction. So what's the opposite of dividing by 2? Multiplying by 2. So let's get rid of that first. We're gonna times it by 2. And if I times it this side, I have to times both of those things by 2. So that's gonna get rid of my half. So I'm gonna be left with 2a minus 2bc equals bcd, right? So I just distributed that 2 through right away, okay? I kind of did it in one step. Now I want to get d by itself, so what do I need to do with b and c? Divide b and c out. And again, be a rebel and just write over bc and be done with it. So you got 2a minus 2bc all over bc equals d. I got d by itself, so I really don't need to keep going. Yay! Now you have 10 to do on your own tomorrow when you're at home. Okay? Isn't that exciting? And you have a lesson quiz tomorrow also. Okay, but remember those are those 5-question ones on section 2-4, not this section.
Now you have to do 10 more.
I know, right? Okay, people at home, you are good to go.
I lied, I'm not going on tomorrow. I'm gonna
One
go on
second, sorry.
Wednesday.
Oh boy.
Hey, Maddie, when's the thing this Friday or